Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome. There's probably nobody here. Hello, people
Not yet.
watching. Yeah.
Not yet. I'm sure they'll be here.
Have you
Oh,
tweeted Josh Barth? Come on,
okay. Let's get this signal out.
let's get it out.
One there, one
We
there.
are live. So I'm just going to be here just talking to myself right now.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm with you. Look at that. Two people straight in.
Got 6 people
Keen.
watching. Woo! Hey
Keen. We
guys.
like that. We
So
like that.
welcome. We're just going to get this link tweeted out, and yeah, then we can get going. So we've got
Okay.
lots of stuff to talk about with Bitcoin, obviously, over the last couple of days.
We do. We have Bitcoin talk about some fab surrounding it. And then we're looking at, I think, 5 coins today, which if you are in getting started in crypto.com and you're a paid member, you'll know all about them already. So you'll be
We will.
jumping onto those. And yeah, we will get to those shortly. But
Yeah.
let us know in the chat where you're from. Hi, Lisa, and 1 inch Josh. There we go.
You're going to be forever known as 1 inch
This
Josh.
can't be. Oh, I can't. I've got to change this reputation.
It's yeah,
Um,
so it's a
oh
an epic
dear.
reputation.
I'm not sure. Anything,
So,
anything but 1 inch.
we need like more viewers. So Josh might like reveal himself. Come on,
Possibly.
Josh.
I did.
Do
If you
it.
were in the
You
group,
can
you would
do
have seen
it.
a partial reveal yesterday. Um, I've got a
Oh, we
brand new
didn't
belt
see
as well.
anything. All we saw was your 1 inch belt and your number 6 shirt. So like one
If
inch.
that's what you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
maybe
we
next
just saw
time.
you 1 inch.
Yeah. Well, what else do you need to see? Hey,
This is
Reese, how you
true.
doing? Gabby, Sean, Teco, Charlie, Joseph, David.
Oh, we've got some
Amazing.
from Nigeria, Netherlands, South Africa, sunny London. It is live, Sam. I believe it is raining there. So,
He says not so sunny London,
oh, okay, I didn't read
but yeah, no, you missed that bit. Giles,
that.
we can make it to 6. I know it'll be a joint effort, but we can get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, excellent, excellent. Show myself and Bitcoin will get to 55k. Well, if it needs a push, I might. But so far, it's looking quite nice.
Yeah, it's having a bit of a pullback at the moment. So let's jump straight
Let's do it. Let's
into
get in.
the charts. So let's have a look. So this is Bitcoin, and we haven't quite got there yet. We're still under the previous low. So we really need to break that to know that we're in an uptrend. So at the moment, we might just be maybe in an ABC. So at this point of time. So, you know, this, we could still be going down. So this is our A. We could be coming down for a B and then going up for a C to retest this resistance region that we've got here on the chart. We can see that it goes kind of along this level. We've broken down through it a couple of times, obviously in this region, but it needs, we often retest these levels again and again and again. So this is a potential sort of pattern we're seeing, an ABC. We could be in an impulse, which would be a nicer pattern. So this would be our possible one wave coming back down for a more shallow wave and then coming up to touch that pivot. So that's an important sort of region there that we need to sort of break. That's the technical pivot. We've already touched it one time, but it would be nice to see it touched again. And then we can have this bigger, you know, inverted head and shoulders pattern sort of playing out. So if we go to a 4-hour chart, yeah, so we potentially have this inverted head and shoulders. So let me just show you what that will look like if we can get that happening. Where's my head and shoulders? So this is quite a nice sort of pattern here. We've got a few too many shoulders, possibly. Let me go to a higher time frame. That looks better. So there we go. So we've got this pattern sort of playing out at the moment. So we need to sort of tap this region. This may not come down as deep. We might get a shallow retrace as everyone gets super bullish in this region, and then continuation up. So that would be our best case scenario on Bitcoin right at this point of time. So, you know, our higher time frames still have some bearish divergence on it, but that is gradually sort of easing. Our daily still has bullish divergence on it. Now, this indicator is just called the divergence indicator. So, yeah, so, you know, it's been quite sort of reliable over the last little bit. I've been testing this out. Yeah, so we can see that this channel has, you know, we've really played along with this channel, and it's been quite a good pattern to trade. Yeah, so, you know, we bought down in this region, and this is where we were sort of talking about on last week's show, sort of in these regions, sort of moving up, and we've done exactly that. So we did have a bit of a pullback during the week, but we have a continuation in this region. So yeah, as long as we can kind of hold this 100 MA around this, we should continue up. And, you know, for me, Bitcoin's looking really good amidst all the FUD, you know, Binance and the UK, and, you know, you're not going to be able to trade derivatives, Josh, over there.
Yeah, that's what I saw. At first, it was, you know, it was typical FUD. They put it out without too much depth. And it seemed like the whole of Binance was just not going to be usable in the UK. Actually, once you do look into it, UK citizens are still allowed to access Binance's services. And but it's without the futures. So depending on whether they can get regulated by the UK regulation FCA, which they still have time to do. So classic FUD, classic.
Yeah, it was just a point, obviously, that, you know, we were right at that bottom, and, you know, potential sort of pivot to, you know, head down much lower. So, you know, that's when all the big gun FUDs come out. And, you know, fortunately for the market, it held in this region, and we didn't have too much FUD like affecting it. So the China FUD tends to affect it a lot more than anything else. So, you know, for me, this pattern is looking really good. And yeah, we can see that we've got clear sort of wave patterns in this region. You know, we're going to go a little bit sideways at the moment. Our volume profile should start sort of turning up. Our MACD, you know, we've gone green. So we're starting to sort of slow down a little bit, but that's kind of matching with the correction that we've got in this region. So yeah, so we really want to be holding kind of this this region here, which is around the sort of 33 mark at the lowest. I really believe we're going to hold around the 34 mark. I don't think we'll drop down much lower than that, but if we do, we've got 50 MA support around the 33 sort of 300-ish mark on this channel. If that starts to break down, then we'll be like, maybe we're in a different pattern, and that often happens as well. So, but we do need to break this 36 sort of region to, you know, top that previous high, and know that we're, you know, in an uptrend on this pattern here. So, you know, ETH, I'll jump straight into ETH because that's been a really good mover this week. And you can see we've had some targets here in getting started in crypto. So, and, you know, it's moving really nicely. We're starting to get, this is a 45-minute chart. So obviously in these regions, we're starting to get very, very overbought. We're very overbought on the RSI, on the MACD, and we're starting to curl down. So we'll get a small correction in this region. So if we go down to the lower time frames, you can see that we've got bearish divergence on these charts. And our MACD has crossed at this point, which, you know, ETH likes to come back down to these 100 MAs. So 100 MA and 200 MA, we can see that it touches them on either side. So 4 hour, we should tap the 2,176 because that's our 100 MA on this chart. So we'll see a pullback in this region. We've already broken the previous high, which is a really good sign for Ethereum. And, you know, our MACD on this 4 hour chart is fanning out. So for me, this, you know, any pullbacks on Ethereum now, because we've got huge things happening, right, Josh, with Ethereum?
Ethereum, we do. I've lost all my tabs again.
Yeah, so we've got, what is it, the EIP 59, I think it is. I get that wrong.
Yeah, that number. Yeah. We always get wrong.
So yeah, I do. I get it wrong, but like it's
1559 EIP 1559. That's
15. I always miss that. There you go, 1559. So you know, that's coming, and there's the 3 halvenings, like basically in the short period of time. I think it's within 18 months. So you know, that's just going to sort of push Ethereum up with the, you know, the difficulty being removed, and you know, it being easier to mine. And, you know, so many sort of, you know, things happening. Obviously, gas fees hopefully are going to be reduced. They're not as expensive at the moment.
It should be over the next month, I believe it's coming out. I'm not sure they put a date on it yet, but, you know, it's that close. So over the next month, we should see it come out and upgrade.
Yeah, so this Ethereum is a strong buy for me. I think this is going to just pump like there's no tomorrow once this news comes out. There's a lot of big YouTube channels that, because mine's a teeny tiny one, but so there's a lot of big YouTube channels that are saying, you know, get into Ethereum right now. For me, I totally agree. Any pullbacks on Ethereum, you know, pick this up at the moment. So, you know, its next target is 2167. Next one after that, 2385, and then 2627. We should be, you know, breaking the previous high on Ethereum in the next, you know, little while. I think we're just going to fly on this chart. It's an ugly looking chart, but the uglier Ethereum is, the more it pumps. And that's just a fact. It's like every time I think it looks ugly, it pumps. So yeah.
I recall you saying that a few months ago, actually. And before that even, it's always been an Ethereum thing.
It is. It's just an ugly chart. It's just, it's the ugly duckling of all the charts here. And, you know, it's, so essentially this pattern here as well is you know, we're in a downtrend channel. So we're coming to the sort of the top of that at the moment. So, you know, once this breaks out, it's just going to go ballistic. It's just going to go crazy. So, and that's what we want to see with these coins. So we want to see sort of, you know, these sort of moves up with Ethereum. Obviously, they're never straight lines, and especially with Ethereum, it's never, ever, ever going to be a straight line. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. So should we drop into the alts straight away?
Let's do it. 5 coins. Let's smash through them.
Yeah, so we've had a massively green couple of days. So it's been, you know, really nice. So, you know, there's ICP, which has done, you know, it corrected sort of, what was it, 88.88 on the fib, and, you know, it pumped 50%, which is nice. So our first chart is AMP. So this chart's beautiful because it's got, you know, the cup sort of pattern, and it pumped up. It didn't quite hit the target on the cup, but that's good enough. It's come back down and it's found support. The volume profile is starting to pick up again. So we're starting to pick up volume in this region. This is a 4-hour chart, and the MACD is just about to tip up. So this is the perfect time to get into this chart. And when this chart moves, it really moves. So this AMP was previously Flexer. This is an ICO that I did in 2017, and it's an amazing project, and it just keeps going from strength to strength. So, you know, they've got so much happening. So, and I know, Josh, you found some news on this one.
Yeah, it's pretty big news. 4 days ago, they announced that they're available on Coinbase, which is always big news. Probably a reason for why you can see more volume coming into the charts. So yeah, it all seems to be aligned with AMP for a big move.
Yeah, so you know, when it was Flexer, it used to like absolutely pump. It used to do these massive sort of wicks, and you know, we're not seeing the massive wicks that we saw in that, obviously, because it's on the bigger exchanges now and not just on the dexes. But this is potentially got some big moves on the way. So if we're buying in around this range, and we're looking at this, so we've got 113% here on AMP, and you know, that's a big move. And, you know, this project is probably one that you could have as a long-term hodl because they just keep doing the work. And, you know, that's what you want to see in this industry. So number 2, let's see if I can get the numbers right today. So number 2, we've got Holochain, which is hot. So this is another one that's had this massively huge correction. So if we put a fib retracement on this, we can see that we've done some huge corrective waves in this region. So we've done around the 786. Oops, if we pull it up, sorry, no, we've done the 0.88. So this is a strong buy as well. So when they get to these really, really oversold levels, we can see on this daily chart, so we're sort of bouncing along this support line on the RSI, and we should start ticking up on the MACD very soon. We're getting strong consolidation if we zoom in on this region, and we can see that we're just starting to move. So going down onto these lower time frames, this is like a strong consolidation pattern. So, you know, hot should see some big moves fairly soon.
I know they have an announcement due soon. Their second public release of Holochain RSM. They're doing a lot of development work, stuff that goes beyond my level of knowledge. But yeah, I've just noticed on Twitter that they said they're going to be doing a second public release of Holochain RSM, including all the changes since the first release, which was back in February. So yeah, no news as such now, but news due to be announced soon. So
well, if we have a look at February, what happened back in February when they announced that news. So this is February, like the price is down here. And, you know, the news came out, and have a look at the price rise on this. It is just epic.
Wow.
There we go. BTC is just doing some funky stuff. So the price movement on this one was like 3,000%. So if we can get something like that again with this news, that would be epic. So let's have a quick jump back to BTC. So we're just pulling back, as I said we would earlier, in this range, and we are coming back down to this shush up BTC. Coming back down to this 100 MA. So the 100 MA is at 33,739 on this 15-minute chart. So yeah, we're going to dip back into that range right now. So, okay, number 3, we've got NEO.
NEO.
So obviously all of these charts look ugly, really ugly right now. So, you know, they've got these massive corrections, and, you know, oh, this is actually dusk. So I think NEO, it's like, where did I lose NEO? There we go. I've just jumped a chart. So this is NEO.
Number 3, NEO, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got this. This is a very similar pattern to what we saw on Bitcoin. So this is why this is such an interesting chart. So, you know, this is NEO's all-time high, and then we've come back down and we've corrected. It's very similar to what Bitcoin does. Obviously, NEO corrected for such a long time as well. And we've come up. So this is essentially like our wave one that Bitcoin did, then pulled down. So this is the, you know, this is a 20,000 on Bitcoin. This is the next high that we had before this previous, this last all-time high that we had at 65K. So yeah, so we, you know, essentially on NEO, we've got this same pattern that we're seeing, that we saw on Bitcoin. So this is a massive thing. So if we put some projection on this and just see where this chart's going, it's actually huge, like massively huge. So, you know, if I do it with my fibs and, you know, saying that this level is our next run in this region. So, and, you know, it's the 236 is my target one. So we're then going to go to $300 on NEO in the not too distant future. So that's going to be our next target, our next major target. And then, you know, 398 and potentially with a wave extension, 528. So to me, these charts all look like we're going into the next section of this bull run. So, you know, it doesn't look like we are going to be pulling back any sort of, you know, much more majorly at the moment. So this is a daily chart. We're really, really oversold. We could correct, you know, and move sideways on a lot of these patterns for another month, but that's okay. So it's a good time to be accumulating all of these patterns because, you know, there's massive gains over the next, you know, probably 6 to 12 months on a lot of these. So this is like 16, nearly 1700% gains on NEO. So yeah, so some news, Josh?
Yeah, NEO, again, not so much very recently, but this time last month, thereabout, they had their NEO Frontier launchpad, which offers $100K in prizes, mainly for developers who want to get onto their platform and develop with them. So, you know, they're out and about and integrating with their community. There's a couple more weeks left in that launchpad to submit any ideas if there's anyone who's clever enough to do that. But that's what I found as far as news so far. And like you're saying, just to start potentially accumulating with these coins,
Yeah,
looking
they're
for
all
the
looking
next
good.
move up.
Yeah, the patterns are all looking like they're in strong accumulation
Mm.
right now. So yeah, long term, I think where the market is really strong. So okay, dusk. This is what we we're looking at before. So this is our fourth chart, which I just jumped into. So let me close that off. We can see that we've got this massive sort of correction here, like dropped into the market. We've come down, we've got that alt curl. We're starting to see this sort of curl around a little bit again. So the RSI is showing that this is about to start this curl that I look at. And we do have the pitchfork happening at the moment. So which we pierced down, but that's okay. And, you know, we should sort of see some sideways movement sort of curling up along the pitchfork before a continuation on dusk. But yeah, all the indicators are pointing to this is going to move higher. So, you know, if not sideways for a little bit, definitely higher in the not too distant future.
Absolutely. And dusk, news-wise, I think we mentioned this on one of our previous weekly updates, but they currently got a $5 million grants program open to applicants to help projects, developers, researchers, and academics drive mainstream adoption of blockchain technology and create the future of finance. I mean, $5 million is huge.
Yeah, for any
One of
developer,
their
it's massive, $5 million.
Yeah. One of their latest tweets actually, it says under full supervision of the AFM, which is the Netherlands SEC, the SEC equivalent. The Dusk business director has been selected as commissioner on the NPEX Stock Exchange Council. So I quite like it when the crypto coins are working nicely with the traditional markets. It's always a good sign for me.
Yeah, that's always a huge sign for me as well. Like, especially like if he's sitting on that board, it means that this is a really strong project. They're looking at regulation. They're, you know, because that is coming into the market, as we see with what's happening with Binance and what's happening with the overall market. So, you know, that's a huge thing in my opinion. So I think this is in strong accumulation here and definitely worth looking at for a long-term trade. So we've only got 5 charts today because, you know, we're just trying to keep this show a little bit quicker. But so we've our number 5 chart is also our chart of the week. And we are looking at ENQ. Like, this is one of my favorites. We've interviewed them on the show. And, you know, when this one moves, it really moves. So, you know, we've got this channel that we've got formed here. We keep knocking our head on it. But I think, you know, we've got 3 touches here. So this next one should break through. So we're looking at a massive move on this next move. So, you know, if you're to buy in this region, we've got a, you know, an almost 300% move on ENQ coming up in the not too distant future. So this is why this is my chart of the week. And, you know, this is, you can mine with mobile phones with this one. And, you know, it's one of my favorite projects in the space.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite things about them, a couple of the other coins we've talked about just today, the way they go about updating their news and stuff tends to be on a monthly, even bi-monthly, sometimes quarterly, which makes it a little tricky to follow along. But these guys, ENQ, they do a weekly report. They do weekly tech reports, weekly network reports. So literally almost to the day we know exactly what's going on with them. Really exciting stuff. They're doing all sorts of AMAs, so their marketing's looking good. And yeah, like you say, I've got a good feeling about these guys.
Yeah, they do. So this, just looking, there's a few questions in the chat. So lots of people saying hello, and there, you know, if we've got a comment there, Josh, that if Bitcoin goes to 55K, are you going to reveal yourself?
The pressure's on. Every week I get this. Every week. Surely it's the coins you want to see, not me.
No, I think by this stage we're all wanting to see what you look like. I know what you
Oh dear.
You know.
Yeah, yeah, I should hope so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, all good. Yeah, good to be seeing everyone, having everyone stream along. Again, a little bit quicker, but if we can give you precise information that you can just take away and do what you want with it, we feel like that could work really well. It was great to have Krugs on last week. We want to get him back on as well at some point, do some more comparisons there. So I think I even saw him in the chat somewhere.
Oh, did you? Hey, Krugs.
So, hey, Krugs, if you're in
there.
We've
got a couple of questions. I'm just going to pull up before we go. Like, we've got HBAR, heaps of questions on HBAR in there. So let's just, I've got a HBAR chart handy. So this, I do like this one when it moves, but at the moment I haven't, you know, had a signal or anything on it lately because it is under some strong resistance. So we've got this. This is where we had a cross support bounce. We had a nice bounce in that region, but we can see that we've got this long-term support and we're underneath it. So, you know, if we can get above that long-term support, this is going to be a really good trade. But at the moment, it keeps just, you know, hitting its head on this long-term support and breaking down. So until it can sort of break that region, it's going to sort of just trend sideways. So we need to sort of break the sort of the 19-20 cent mark on HBAR, and then it's literally going to take off. So, you know, if it can get into those above those regions, HBAR is going to be a really good trade. So to the next resistance after that, it's got an almost 100% move. So, you know, you guys need to start jumping into HBAR and get it moving. And the other one that everyone's asking me about is Ava. Now, this is literally one of my favorites, as you guys all know. So let's bring that up. So I've got 3 charts on this one, and we can see that Ava is moving at the moment. So BTC is doing its thing, so everything's going to be pulling back. But that's the BTC chart. Let's go to this chart. So we can see that we've got this support region, and we've bounced on this 3 times. The 4th time we're heading up. So, you know, we've had some nice moves. It is really, really slow at the moment. So, but, you know, that happens with some coins. This one sort of moves quite sideways for quite some time, and then it takes off. At the moment, we've got some strong consolidation in this region. So if BTC continues up and doesn't break down, then Ava is going to do some big things. Obviously, we've got the, what is it? The D travel as well on Ava. So yeah.
Yeah, they're big movers. The most recognized rewards program in the travel and crypto industry. So,
yeah.
You know, they're doing what they do best.
Well, when we can all travel again, this is going to be massive. So, you know, at these low prices, I think you've got to get into Ava. Seriously.
Very cool.
There we go. So there's our show for the week. It's a nice quick one. Well, it wasn't actually that quick, but it was kind of.
Was it not? It felt quick compared to how we normally do.
It did. It felt quick compared to last week. So yeah.
Well, fantastic. Well, get on those coins if you fancy them, everybody, and get on to getting started in crypto.com as well. Like I say, if you were already there.
An epic couple of weeks in there.
Oh, it's been huge. Yeah.
600% gains in 03. So yesterday we had hard, we had 1 inch, we had what else have we had? We had ICP, we've Bitcoin and Ethereum, we got the bottom. So, you know,
we had some scalps in there as well. This is the thing, everyone just thinks it's the signals, we get scalps in there, spot swing. And the live chat feature has been amazing because literally people are sharing the profits they're making and geeing everyone else up. So great community, and lots more to come there.
Yeah, so we will see you back again next week, and make sure you find us on Twitter. And
amazing.
thanks for joining us.
See you then.